In this corner, in this corner, Dr. EnQi. In the other corner, we have in the other corner, we have everybody else. In this corner, we have Dr. EnQi. And in that corner, we have everybody else. And trust me, I think they outnumbered. hey, listen. In this corner, we have Dr. EnQi. In that corner, we have everybody else. And I think they outnumbered. I think they outnumbered. Well, Lauren, I don't know if you want to watch this, Lauren. I don't even know if I want you to watch this live stream, Lauren. Wait, she left. Lauren, come back. Lauren, come back. Don't leave. Okay, she back. No, we had 7 people. No, we had 8 people. As soon as I said, I don't know if I want you to watch this, it went down to 7. Yo. Listen. We getting ready to start. We getting ready to start it up for the Christmas holiday. Right? For the Christmas holiday, we get ready to start it up. We're getting ready to start it right on up. Black Friday is over. Black Friday is over. Black Friday is a morning time. Walmart killed Black Friday. Black Friday used to be all day. Black Friday is the morning now. Black Friday is reduced to 5 a.m. to 12 p.m. And then we got Cyber Monday, right? Listen, it's up now. That's what we on. Listen, that's what we on. Somebody got to do it. Somebody got to do it. Somebody got to do it. Somebody got to hold it down. Somebody got to hold it down. This is the wildest prequel you will ever read. Listen. Masaru Emoto made a lot of money off the Bible. Everybody is. Everybody is. And nobody is really concerned with getting back to the roots. So that's the secret. Shh. Shh. I want y'all to do that at home. Shh. That's our secret thing right there between us. Just between me and you. That's us. That's our thing. Just between us. Shh. All right, we starting it up. We starting it up. The first book done already hit. We starting it up. We starting it up. We gotta put the correction in for the quadruple super OG. We gotta do it. Nobody else done did it. We gotta do it. Just shoe it. Shh. They didn't get it. Look, everybody been seeing this shirt all this time. They didn't get it. Right? Shout out to my man, Second Ezra. Yeah. See, these joints be coming from my mind and Ezra's mind. So you got to already know when a guy named EnQi and a guy named Ezra get in the look. Y'all don't see it? Y'all don't see it? Y'all don't see it yet? Like, yeah, we see it. EnQi, you flipping the Nike. You flipping the Nike joint. That's what that is. Just shoe it. I'm like, no, that ain't it. The hoodies is on the site. The hoodies is definitely on the site. The hoodies, the hats, the bags, all this is on the site. Yeah. When you go to the website, you got to click the menu and go to the link for the clothes. That's a fact. People got some of this stuff already. I just can't like bring them into my house to put them on the camera so y'all can see, but people been grabbing some of the stuff already. That's a fact. But so look, we got to deal with this, right? Listen. Yo, it's so much trouble to start. It feel like Christmas. It's so much trouble to start. It feel like Christmas. I don't know where to start the trouble at first. I don't know where to start the trouble at first. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. It's all the way up. right? But see, Joshua, Joshua, see, that's a spin on Jesus' real name. We're going to get to this. Because this is not Jesus' real name. This is like me saying Osiris. So we got to get to it. We got to get to all of these things. They definitely are. Yeah. You just got to hit the drop down link with the menu. Or you could go directly. You could go directly to Yep, you could just go directly to it. Okay, yep. Yeah, it's there. Chase done took my little bag. Jason took my little bag. I'm telling you, I'm on the fight Chase. Hold up. Is this my bag? Remember the bags? We had the bags. Everything is there. Right, look. Defund diabetes. You know what I'm saying? We had the whole little program. Yeah. We had the whole program. All right. No, I'm just excited. Well, I guess we could pick back up where we left off. We just need to do a review. That's why I love you, Thomas. Thomas done played no games. You're like, up, zoop, order placed. You're like, zoop, order placed. It's up. Don't you come in here pajama up again, lady. Grassy ass. Yeah, but we need to do a little review. So let's do some review. Right, let me put some of this stuff out of the way. I got all kind of stuff up on the screen, which might have to come back at some point. Welcome back. All right, so let me see where we was at. Now I had to clean off my desktop, so I done lost stuff. Okay, here we go. We had that out. Yeah, let's pull that back out. What else we had out? What's this? Yeah, we might as well pull that out. Matter of fact, let me just hit the button like this and see what happens. Bang. Let's just do that. Wait, I'm still missing one though. I'm missing the main one. Okay, there that go right there. Okay. Bang, bang. Okay. Well, how did we have it yesterday? Oh, that's what it was. Okay, I just made it bigger. Okay. Okay, so this is where we was at. We was on this type of time. Right? And Sa jumped in the video. Right? This is where we was at. We got to review this and do this with care. Right? So, you know what? I done did so much hours live. I done did so much hours live that I don't know whether I'm going or coming. I don't know whether I'm going or coming. I do know that we was walking down. So we had walked it down and we walked into the Bible. That's what we did. We walked it down and we walked into the Bible. We walked it down and we walked into the Bible. Okay, and in the Bible, we start to get into what Elohim meant. That's where we started to go, into what Elohim went. And then we went into the creation and we got sciencey and we went crazy and we kind of went that direction. All right. So let's get back in our bag with that. Right? Let's get back in our bag with this here. Right? We was talking about. No, we're not going back into the creation. We'll do that another time. Right? We want to go back into Ptolemy, back into conquering. We want to go back into Ptolemy, that's what we had up. That's what I want to talk about. There we go. Now it's coming back to me. I got it. Okay. That's what we doing. That's what we was doing, right? That's what we had up. Rosetta Stone. And we had that. We had something like that, right? We had something like that. That's what we was on. Right? And we was talking about the time when the Bible was written. Right? The time that the Bible was written. Right? The time that the Bible was written, it was written in Egypt, right? Right? You following? The Bible was written in Egypt, right? The Septuagint. I better wake up, right? And what was the year we put it at? Somewhere between what? 300 to 100 BC, right? Right? Yeah, we had it somewhere in there, right? The Bible, the Rosetta Stone, right? Same era, right? Same era. So the language, right? There's no Hebrew yet. right? There's no biblical Hebrew yet. The biblical Hebrew doesn't present itself until the Masoretic text, which is the Masoretic text comes 500 or something like that, right? Listen, everything that's happening in the world has to do with this. So believe you me, when I tell you that this is the conversation that we need to be having, this is the conversation. We talking about Ukraine, Russia, the Gaza Strip, Palestine, Israel, Biden, Trump, Jesus, Christmas, everything come from here. The world as we know it started here. This is when the world started. This is when the world started. Period. Talk that talk right there. Come on now. He knows something. Somebody knows something. Somebody knows something. Somebody knows something. Somebody knows something. You had, this is the story. You had 70 or 72 right? 70 to 72 Hebrew sages and produced the Bible. This is when the world changes. Yeah, this is when the world changes. And the world becomes set in stone, pun intended. So let's do this. Let's just get some stuff out the way. Let's just get some stuff out the way. Right? Let's just get some stuff out the way. You just get some stuff out the way. If the Bible is written at this time period, right? If the Bible is written at this time period, clearly the Bible was not talking about this time period. All right, let me ask a question about this. Here's a question that I get when I tell people that I believe in the Bible. They ask me, right? Especially going back and forth with these guys with the Kemetic, right? Some of the stuff I got to rehash and bring back up so that way the memory could pop back into your mind of some of these old discussions and arguments that I had with guys. And some of y'all haven't been around for that stuff. You know, a lot of that stuff happened even before YouTube. So if y'all wasn't following before YouTube, when people was on Blog Talk Radio only, like it was only Blog Talk. You know what I'm saying? There's no Blog Talk was, I can't even say Blog Talk was then what Clubhouse is today, because that would be an understatement. That'd be disrespectful to Blog Talk Radio. Blog Talk was what YouTube is today. You know what I'm saying? Like, because there was nothing else. So everybody was on Blog Talk. So there's a lot of arguments and stuff we had, but then Blog Talk got wild, like YouTube. After a while, started deleting people channels and all kind of stuff. So there's a lot of history that's just gone. You kind of just had to be there. You know what I'm saying? But this used to be the number one question. To like debunk a creationist, you debunk a creationist with that right off the back. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're an evolution person and you're pro-evolution, you would immediately debunk creationists with that story. Like, bro, science does not support. There's too much scientific evidence to believe that the world started 6,000 years ago. And I would say then the same thing I would say now. I'm still holding this. I'm still holding this line. I'm still with this. Because after I done jumped down the rabbit hole of disbelief, rebelief, disbelief, rebelief, debunk, unbunked, rebunked, three bunked, two bunked. Like, I'm like, nope. My first instinct was correct. My first instinct was correct that this was correct. My first instinct was correct that this was correct. The Bible is talking about, first of all, the Bible is talking about a very specific bloodline. The Bible is talking about a specific bloodline. It's not talking about everybody. So that's the first thing that confuses folks, right? They believe that the Bible's talking about everybody. And I'm like, no part of the Bible gives you that feeling that it's talking about everybody. There's no part of the Bible that gives you that feeling. Like it literally says 144,000 is people that's going to be saved. That's not even everybody of anybody. You understand what I'm saying? Like 144,000 is not all blacks. That's not all Africans. If we count the Israelites in America, that's not even all the Hebrew Israelites. That's not all the Jewish people. If we count like the white Jewish folks, the Hebrew Israelites, if we count Christians, 144,000 is not all of anybody. That's not all the vegans. That's not all the holistic. Like 144,000. That's not all of anybody. Think about that. You got YouTube pages that got 10 times. Kai Cenat on his YouTube page, he probably got over 144,000 subscribers in the last couple of weeks. 144,000 is not a big number. Now, over time, people have Jesused it up. That's a phrase that I made up. Jesused it up. Jesused it up means like you come in with the unconditional love ideology and all that. Like, well, you know, the 144,000, they're going to come back and get 10, 20 each, and they're going to get 100 each. And so it's going to really be, I'm like, hold up. None of that math is still mathing. Because if the 144,000 get to come back and get 10 each, I can count. Okay, that's still 1.5 million. It's like 8 billion people on this planet. 10 times 144,000 is still, what are we talking about? That's still a drop in the bucket. That's not everybody. That's not even all the Puerto Ricans in the Bronx. That's not everybody. So I'm just saying, the Bible has never said that it was for everybody, right? Earlier today, we went through the story of Cain and Abel, right? Cain and Abel. Remember the story, Cain and Abel? First of all, is Adam and Eve is supposed to be the only two people, right? Adam and Eve have babies. So now it's just supposed to be them. Supposed to be Adam, Eve, Cain, Abel. Well, Cain gets kicked out of the garden and goes and gets married and has kids in a whole city. So clearly there was other people. My man went and found him a whole lady and all that and got busy. Made babies. So, I mean, there's that, like, right? That just ends that right there. There was clearly other people doing other things. Other people doing other things. Just saying, it was. So this number, for me, you know, we can dispute everything, you know, it has been back and forth. But this number for me represents civilization as we know it. Right? And I start thinking like that. Well, when I was a kid, a little kid, I believed the story hook, line, and sinker. I was like, no one existed on earth. And then 6,000 years ago, the Bible says, right? As I got older and grew out of that, studied some, read some, studied some, read some, got brainwashed a lot. Got brainwashed a lot. Studied some more, read some more, got brainwashed some more. Had to get some Head and Shoulders. You know what I'm saying? Like I had to get some Head and Shoulders. I'm trying to supply Head and Shoulders right now. A lot of folks that got brainwashed. You need some Head and Shoulders to, yeah, you got to get you some Head and Shoulders to get your thing together. Right? Happens. Right? But I'm certain now, well, as certain as I've ever been, right? As certain as I've ever been. I'll just say that, right? Because we might get some new information, and you know. But as far as I know, right? As far as I know, right? This number relates to this. This number relates to this. But I'm be honest, by the time the end of this stream, by the time we finish this video, it's gonna be some we're gonna have some questions to answer. Y'all gonna have some questions to answer. I'm gonna be creating questions. I think this right here already supplied all the answers. I'm ready to just turn the live stream off and be like, yo, go get the book. Go get the book. Book a shoe. It's out. It's on. It's up. We them. Right? This is the real new covenant. We starting it up. This is the real new covenant. We starting it up. Not the New Testament new covenant, not the polite new covenant. This is the real new covenant from the old covenant. Can't have a new covenant if it's not with the old team. Hey, hold up, EnQi. You ain't starting up. You getting ready to, what you doing over there, EnQi? Listen, I'm just bringing it back. There's a reason that it's important to call on God's name. It's a reason it's important. It's a reason why there's confusion in the Bible too about calling on the power in God's name, and then also you're not supposed to say his name. You're supposed to say his name or you're not. What's happening in there? There's some stuff in there, right? So I think that's the main story that we need to look into. We need to tap into this real quick. So let's just tap into this. All right. Let's go back to our Rosetta Stone. Let's go back to our Ptolemy story. Let's get on the page with that. Right? Let's get on the page with that. We got this. Right? We know the Quran. Hold on, just in case we don't. We know the Quran. Right? This is that. This can't be argued or disputed. Right? This ain't no way around this. This is this. Now, what we doing here? Because you know you're always going to have some code. So before we even go anywhere, let's just deal with this. Okay, so that way we super clear on, because we put this up. And then I got people was like, well, you ain't really show, because Arabic is way different than the Hebrew, because Arabic. So if you're not a religious person and you're just watching this for information, you've never really been into religion, you kind of been brainwashed, you need some head and shoulders too, right? People that are religious, now here's the thing, it's gatekeepers. If you think there's gatekeepers in the music business, you have no idea. Most of the religious people that you will meet they come in two flavors. I'll say three. They're either using the religion that they're in as a fraternity. So they're using it for gain. They're trying to get money and network and woo, woo. That's how they're doing that. Or they're dumb, right? Or this is most of the people, They're either using it for gain, they're dumb, or they're directly lying to you. Right? They're lying to you. Right? Or maybe you just been around only like black folks. Right? But if you go and you spend any time around an Orthodox Christian, they are very, very prideful and protective over the Greek language. It's very special and mystical and spiritual, and it's very important when you go to the ceremonies that they, for them, that they say, you know, they do their prayers and everything in the original Greek. It's very important. When you go to a synagogue, it's very important that they do their prayers and everything in the Hebrew. Very important that they do it in the Hebrew, right? If you speak to a Muslim, a real Muslim, not the fake Muslims that you see me arguing on the internet with because they turned Muslim while they was in jail and all kinds of. You speak to real Muslims, they would tell you that it's part of the Muslim tradition that you're not even a full, like you're not even a real Muslim unless you start to learn the Quran in Arabic. You need to learn the Quran in Arabic. They would tell you that. Now, on the outside, right? They have the outside because there's also business. So everybody wants to attract new people. So on the outside, everybody's like, welcome. No. You can be black, white. You don't have to speak the language. Don't get, come on in. Everybody, come on in. Come on in. You're not really in. Like you might think you in, but you're not. You're not in until you learn the language. You need to learn the Greek. You need to learn the Hebrew. You need to learn the Arabic. Right? So that's why it's important for us to look at these things and see there's something behind that. There's something behind that. And we're not really getting into our spiritual bag unless we go there. So because we had those comments, we got to look at, right? When you look at the Hebrew and the Arabic, you can forget about it. You can forget about it. Now, the dialects are different, but on paper, I mean, you looking at it right there. The dialect in the script is different, but you looking at it. I mean, your eyes do not deceive you. Your eyes do not deceive you. All of the letters are almost the same. Like all of the letters are almost the same. And they have almost the same numerical values. Right? So you have to just soak that in for a second. You got to soak that in for a second. Now let's take our time and go through this. Let's go through this. Let's get this story. At least the basic story. We're going to work our way through the layers. We're going to work our way through the layers. All right, so Claudius Ptolemy was an Alexandrian mathematician, astronomer, astrologer, geographer, music theorist, who wrote about a dozen scientific treatises, 3 of which are important to the Byzantine, Islamic, and Western science. Interesting. The first was his astronomical treatise known as the Almagest, originally entitled Mathematical Treatise. The second is the Geography, which is a thorough discussion on maps and the geographic knowledge of the Greco-Roman world. The third is the Astrological Treatise, in which he attempted to adapt horoscope astrology to the Aristotelian natural philosophy of his day. This is sometimes known as apotelesmatica, okay, which is the Greek for on the effects, but more commonly known as tetrabiblos, from the Koine Greek meaning 4 books, or by its Latin equivalent, quadripartite. And I know I'm butchering those Greek pronunciations, so don't judge me. The Catholic Church promoted his work, which included the only mathematically sound geocentric model of the solar system. And unlike most Greek mathematicians, Ptolemy's writings never ceased to be copied or commented upon, both in late antiquity and the Middle Ages. However, it is likely that only a few truly mastered the mathematics necessary to understand his works, as evidenced particularly by the abridged and watered down introductions to Ptolemy's astronomy that was popular among the Arabs and Byzantines. His work on epicycles has come to symbolize a very complex theoretical model built in order to explain a false assumption. Ptolemy's date of birth and birthplace are both unknown. The 14th century astronomer Theodore, we just gonna say Theodore M, wrote that Ptolemy's birthplace was Ptolemais Hermaeo, a Greek city in the Theban region of Egypt. So Ptolemy was born in Egypt. Okay, hold on. That's so important. I gotta write that down. We gotta write that down for later, because that is a good one. We gotta write that one down. So just leave it like that, and we put an arrow. Boop. So Ptolemy was born in Egypt. Yo, this is crazy. Okay. He had a Latin name, Claudius, which is generally taken to imply he was a Roman citizen. He was familiar with Greek philosophers and used Babylonian observations and Babylonian lunar theory In half of his extant works, Ptolemy addresses a certain Cyrus, a figure whom almost nothing is known about, but whom likely shared some of Ptolemy's astronomical interests. Ptolemy died in Alexandria in 168. Okay. Ptolemy's Greek name, Ptolemaeus, is an ancient Greek personal name. It occurs once in Greek mythology and is of Homeric form. It was common among the Macedonian upper class at the time of Alexander the Great. And there were several of this name among Alexander's army, one of whom made himself pharaoh in 323 BC. Ptolemy the First, Soter. Okay, the first pharaoh of the Ptolemaic kingdom. Almost all subsequent pharaohs of Egypt, with a few exceptions, were named Ptolemy until Egypt became a Roman province in 30 BC. All right. Now we starting to warm up the food. Now we getting to warm up the food. Okay? So before we go there, right? We're gonna come over here and we're gonna deal with something. We're gonna deal with something over here for a second. And this is important. We got to deal with this. This is important. In fact, I want y'all to try to read this. I know y'all heard me talk about this 1,000 times, but I just want y'all to read this word right here. I want y'all to say that word to yourselves. Say that word to yourself like 10 times real fast. Say this word to yourself 10 times fast. Come on now. I ain't going to tell you how to read it. Just say it to yourself 10 times fast. Hey. This is a very interesting word in a very interesting place. This is a very interesting word in an interesting place. The Mouseion of Alexandria. The Mouseion. I'm not butchering this pronunciation. This is how it is pronounced. The Mouseion of Alexandria, which arguably included the Library of Alexandria, was an institution said to have been founded by who? Originally, the word Mouseion meant any place that was dedicated to who? I'm going to just leave this right here for a second. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to just let y'all deal with this for a second. Mouseion was any place dedicated to the yeah, I'm going to just leave that right there. I'm going to just let that yeah, I'll be right back. I'm going to let that just simmer on the pot. I'm going to just let that simmer on the pot. Caleb, get a trash bag up here now. Y'all better stop enjoying yourself so much in my kitchen. Y'all enjoying yourself way too much in my kitchen. Yo, it's already, listen, it's already going up. It's already going up. It's already getting crazy. So, Ptolemy the First founded an institution, right? So let's just remember something, right? This is the mathematician. Yeah, we're just going to do that. It's the mathematician carrying on the name, the legacy, you know, boom, boom, boom. Right? But let's just think of this idea for a second. We have to remember that history is written by the conquerors. History is written by the conquerors, right? The conqueror gets to write the history. So we have to be able to take that, not even with a grain of salt. We got to take that with a bag of salt. Like literally, we got to get high blood pressure. Listen, we got to take that with enough salt to get high blood pressure. So let's put this into context. Oh, before we even go, let me take my time. I'm rushing. I'm with the Ukraine and I'm with Biden. I'm rushing. Okay. So let's do this. Come on now. Okay. So let's dig into this real quick. And then we start. Then we go back over there. Okay. Ptolemy the Savior was a Macedonian Greek general, historian, and successor of Alexander the Great, who went on to found the Ptolemaic kingdom centered on Egypt. Okay. So he founded a kingdom centered on Egypt. Okay. Just for clarity, let's do this. Because I be getting so excited sometimes when I want to talk about a subject that I'll get out of chronology. Right? Okay. Alexander of Macedon, most commonly known as Alexander the Great, was a king of ancient Greek kingdom Macedon. He succeeded his father Philip II to the throne in 336 BC at the age of 20 and spent most of his ruling years conducting a lengthy military campaign throughout Western Asia, Central Asia, South Asia, and Egypt. By the age of 30, he had created one of the largest empires in history. Okay. Hold on. Okay, so why I keep jumping around like that? I keep trying to tell me to spend a few dollars. Like, hold on, we right here with this. Until 16, Alexander was tutored by Aristotle. Okay. Man, we got to keep jumping. We really are time traveling right now. Okay. Little is known about Aristotle. Northern Greece during the classical period. His father, Nicomachus, died when he was a child. At around 18, he joined Plato's Academy in Athens. Okay. So he was studying in Athens. Okay. He established a library in Lyceum, which helped him to produce many of his hundreds of books on papyri scrolls. Okay. We're going to stop right there. We're going to do more jumping. Papyri was first known. Okay, so we already, Doc, what you showing us? We don't understand what you're trying to show us. It's all right. Get locked in. Go get your snack. Go get your snack. This is gonna be a drawed out, a long drawed out thing. This not gonna be instant gratification with this. So go get your snack, right? Yeah. Go get your snack, right? Right now, we just highlighting certain things that need to be highlighted, right? Papyri was first manufactured in Egypt as far back as the 3rd millennium BCE. The earliest archaeological evidence of papyri was excavated in 2012 at Wadi al-Jarf, an ancient Egyptian harbor located on the Red Sea coast. These documents, the Diary of Mera, date from 2560 BCE, the end of the reign of Khufu. The papyri rolls describe the last years of the building of the Great Pyramid of Giza. Okay. Now hold on. Because see, we already deep into history and we taking twists and turns and it's getting crazy. Let's go on over here. The Diary of Mera, it talks about building the Great Pyramids. It talks about building the Great Pyramids. Right? And listen, after this video, feel free to pull up any of these things that you feel like we went through too fast and didn't read. Like, just feel free to go and pull these up on your own. Okay? Now, you know what it doesn't talk about? It doesn't talk about you know what? I'm gonna just leave this alone. I'm gonna just leave this I'm going to just leave this and people can pull us. Now you know what this is. If you didn't know before, there is this. This exists now. This exists, right? So we're going to just leave that as I can't right now. I'm going to get distracted. But that exists, right? Papyri talking about the building of the pyramids. Right? So that exists. Right. So we know papyri came from Egypt. We know Aristotle said Aristotle is credited with writing thousands of papyri. Only a third of his original ones still survive, but we know he wrote thousands of them. Aristotle was revered among medieval Muslim scholars as the first teacher, and among medieval Christians like Thomas Aquinas as simply the philosopher, while the poet Dante called him the master of those who know. So I just want to highlight as we're moving through, I just want to just highlight this here. So I know the Muslim brothers they probably already upset. They will get more upset. But we're just going to leave that right there. Obviously, I got gold teeth, so I don't know what I'm talking about. And this is Wiki, so they will challenge Wiki and say, oh, well, Wiki don't. Got it. Got it. Right? We got it. Where did my man go? Aristotle, little is known by his life when he was little. 18, he's on Plato's Academy. Okay, let's check out my man Plato. Plato's most famous contribution is the theory of forms, which has been interpreted as advancing a solution to what is known as the problem of universals. He was decisively influenced by pre-Socratic thinkers, Pythagoras, Heraclitus, and Parmenides. Along with his teacher Socrates, and Aristotle, his student. So we got the line. We got the line of wisdom. Right? We got the line of wisdom. I just want to highlight, they slipped this in here. I just want to highlight that they slipped this in here. He might have journeyed down to Egypt to learn a thing or two. That's how they do that. Right? He might have journeyed over there and he might have saw something and learned something. Okay. All right, Doc, we get it. We already know. All right, Doc, okay. All right. Let me just go over here. Okay. So he might have went to Egypt, right? He greatly influenced Christian and Islamic philosophy. I just want you to notice that people try to separate Islam a lot. They try to separate the Quran a lot. And I'm saying to myself, has anybody that's read the Quran ever read the Bible? Has anybody that's read the Bible ever read the Quran? Like, there's a couple new characters in the movie, but I mean, that's the same story. It's a couple new characters in the movie, but it's pretty much the same story. I mean, it's just told about the other side of the family, right? Remember, Abraham had two sides of the family, right? But I just want to jump over here for a second because we getting ready to, start our Scooby-Doo thing, right? So Plato is deep because he was influenced by these three teachers here. And of these three teachers here, we know that this one right here is the most famous, right? This is the most famous. So let's check out this guy. Pythagoras was an ancient Greek philosopher, polymath, eponymous founder of Pythagoreanism. His political and religious teachings were well known in Magna Graecia. Magna Graecia. And influenced the philosophies of Plato and Aristotle, and through them, the West in general knowledge. This life is clouded by legend. In antiquity, Pythagoras was credited with many mathematical and scientific discoveries, including the Pythagorean theorem, Pythagorean tuning, the 5 regular solids, the theory of proportions, the sphericity of the earth, and the identity of the morning. And, oh my goodness. I mean, Pythagoras is deep. Pythagoras is deep. We got to keep on looking, though. Some accounts mention that the philosophy associated with Pythagoras was related to mathematics and that numbers were important, but it is debated to what extent. Pythagoras developed numerological and musical teachings attributed to him. If those teachings were developed by his later followers, particularly Philolaus of Croton, following Croton's decisive victory over the Sabaris in 510 BC, Pythagoras' followers came into conflict with supporters of democracy. Okay, all right. We heard Pythagoras is deep. Do you see what that say? And right here is the very first question. The very first question that we have to ponder. There's going to be a series of similar questions. There's going to be a series of similar questions. No authentic writings of Pythagoras have survived. And almost nothing is known for certain about his life. Okay, so hold on. I just want to ask now. I just want to ask you guys in the chat. We haven't spoken in a minute. I've been showing stuff on the screen. If who was the student? Aristotle and Plato and So here's a question. Because we got to go through the whole line. Wait, how did that line go? It was a whole bunch of folks just there. It's a whole bunch of folks just there. Let's go back through this line. Okay, so Pythagoras. So Plato learned from Pythagoras. Okay, Plato learned from Pythagoras, right? And then Aristotle learned from him. Okay. Okay. So Plato learned from Pythagoras. Aristotle learned from him. Okay. And then Aristotle, hold on, then Aristotle, so Plato learned from Pythagoras, Aristotle learned from him, and then Alexander the Great learned from Aristotle. Okay, so what if Pythagoras never existed? That's the question I got for y'all. I would like to hear some answers. Just come on. Come on. It's Friday night. Come on. Let's get some Twitter fingers going. If Alexander the Great learned from Aristotle and Aristotle learned from Plato, because mind you, Alexander the Great is supposed to be a great military tactician who used his military strategy from his teachers, right? And so we're talking about the greatest minds of Greece, right? Aristotle taught him directly. And Aristotle got it from Plato, and Plato got it from Pythagoras, who's arguably the greatest mind of all times. What happens? I'm just trying to figure out what happened if Pythagoras never existed. That's my question. What does that mean? Like, let's pull that out. What does that mean? Come on, I'll give y'all a second to think of something. Come on.
Myron! Myron! What are you doing? What you doing?
What you talking about? What am I doing?
You reading them nasty books again, right, Myron?
Everybody reading no nasty books, man. You scared the hell out of me. What you talking about, man? But I ain't did that in about 2 weeks.
You called yesterday 2 weeks. What you reading? What you reading?
You scared the goddamn book, man. Dr. EnQi. I went on Amazon and got 3 Dr. EnQi books because I'm reading about melatonin and biochemistry.
What is, Myron, that's not even first of all, it's not melatonin and whatever it is that you just said. It's melanin and biochemistry. You can't even pronounce the word, so how you reading? How you reading, Myron?
I'm not looking at the pictures. I got the books right here. I'm looking at the pictures. You know, this ain't nothing nasty about this. So what are you talking about? I got all the books right here. What are you talking about?
Myron, you don't even know how to read. Every time we get mail, you bring it to me. You think I don't know that?
I got hooked on Phoenix. Now, what you talking about? I was hooked on Phoenix, so I know how to read.
As of when? Because first of all, hooked on phonics, I believe it's for kids. There's no such thing as hooked on Phoenix. And if I recall, you're the same person that thought reindeer was pronounced reender, and you're the same person that thought pigeon was pronounced piggion. So it makes sense that you went to hooked on Phoenix.
Man, such a dumbass.
No,
you always trying to say somebody can't read. I know exactly what I'm talking about, man. I'm reading the book. I got the goddamn receipt right here. I got the goddamn receipt right here for the books. What you talking about?
Well, you need to return them for somebody who know how to read them. And I still don't. It's probably all type of stuff in the inside of the books, Myron. That's how sneaky you are. Give me the books. Give me the books, Myron.
Hell no.
Give me the books, Myron. Give me the books, Myron.
I'm not giving you none. I got these books off Amazon. I'm not giving you the books. Ain't that no?
Bye. Bye.
I've been in this game for years. You're animals to the shit. Animal, baby. The gods have blessed us. We must act now. We must act now to save us, to save our souls.
Okay, hold on. I think I know where it is. Come on. I want y'all to really parse it out. If if Pythagoras did not exist, then what does that mean?
They want to steal your birth.
Here we go. Here we go. Now, once upon a time, not long ago. Okay, let me see how this will work. Okay, hold up. See it. Beautiful. Okay, now let's see what we got over here. Okay, let's go on over here.
Birthright to math and science. Your ancestors created all of the math and science around this globe, and it's about time that I take you on a tour to show you this.
As soon as the Nile returned to its bed, a big problem had arisen. Field limits had disappeared. It was then necessary to retrace the limits of the fields of each peasant and start sowing as soon as possible. And they had to be traced correctly to avoid disputes. Therefore, the Egyptians began to draw straight lines, rectangles, squares, diagonals, circles, and triangles with strings and sticks. Everything was noted on papyrus. It was the beginning of geometry. They understood a fundamental function of nature. Everything is divided or assembled in small equal units. This observation will serve them throughout their discoveries. They also needed a unit of measure to properly demarcate the plots. Geometry is good, but after all, you must measure the lines. They considered the king's foot. The length of the king's foot could be used as a standard. This standard would be multiplied and distributed throughout the kingdom. They considered the feet, arms, legs, and elbows of the king, but there was a problem. This unit was not fixed. There would be no problem during his reign, but all the kings were not the same size. The next king would surely want to use his foot or his elbow out of pride. In the hills, waiting for the retreat of the Nile, the Egyptians thought and looked for a solution to the problem. This unit of measurement would have to have a fixed length in time, if possible, never change. They observed the size of different plants, fruits, seeds, any object in nature. But all these objects did not have a constant size. For example, if we water a seed well, the following year its size will have changed. And over long distances, small differences quickly became significant. Then, they had the idea to measure water. Yes, fresh water from the Nile. They measured one drop and then another. They were all the same size. From the lower Nile to the upper Nile, the drops were the same size. They noticed that the size of the water drop did not change year after year. It's wonderful. The Egyptians found a unique unit. The diameter of the drop of water on a waterproof surface, like granite or alabaster, is constant. It measures 1 centimeter. They named this small unit the royal finger. 10 drops of water or 10 royal fingers equals 1 royal hand. 100 drops of water, so 100 royal fingers or 10 royal hands, equals 1 royal leg. Centuries later, these discoveries were taken out of secret coffers and renamed. The royal finger was called the centimeter, the royal hand the decimeter, and the royal leg the meter. They were presented as recent discoveries, and the French appropriated them, made in France. The diameter of the drop of fresh water measures what is now called 1 centimeter. Water is a universal constant. The size of the drop of fresh water will never change for thousands and millions of years. Yes, the universal unit, the meter, was not invented in 1780, but it was discovered by the Egyptians millennia ago. The meter is a universal unit because it is measured on water. Water is the only material that is stable. All other materials or objects are difficult to measure, or else they vary over time. The architecture of the entire universe is constructed with this unit. Using the meter, this immutable unit, were defined the 6 fundamental units of physics and chemistry today. Amperes, Celsius, moles, candelas, seconds, and kilograms. So, everything. Now that the Egyptians had discovered the meter, they could trace the plots without a problem. With the meter, they measured everything and recorded everything. They took a disc with the diameter of a royal leg and wrapped a string around it. They unrolled the string and measured it. The parameter of the disc was 3 royal legs and 14 royal fingers, or 314 royal fingers. A disc with a diameter of 10 unrolled corresponded to 31 units and 4 subunits. A disc with a diameter of 1 corresponded to 3 units and to 14 subunits. One number stood out each time: 314, 31.4, 3.14. They thought this number was important. This figure is pi, 3.14. Egyptians knew pi with precision long before Archimedes. From this experience, they also deduced the decimal system. They cut the disc into 6, measured it on the royal leg, the meter. They got the number 52 centimeters and 36 subunits, millimeters. They wrote it down and thought this was important. During their observations, they noted that the volume of a sphere represents 52.36% the volume of a cube. Whenever the volume of the cube and the sphere increases proportionally, this number does not vary. In so doing, they discovered one of the most important universal constants, kept secret, the number 52.36. Twice, in volumes and forms, this number is everywhere. They conclude that this number is sacred. The Egyptians discovered the number 52.36, which is a universal constant like pi and phi. The number 52.36 is an important universal constant, more than pi and the golden ratio, since it connects 2D space with that of 3D. Now, how does one incorporate this sacred number? They put a stick on the royal leg, the meter, which is divided into 100 units. They cut the stick so that it made 52 royal fingers and 36 subunits. The royal cubit was born. The royal cubit equals 52.36 drops of water, or 52.36 centimeters. From then on, all of Egypt would have as a standard a universal constant, the royal cubit. The Egyptian royal cubit as presented in museums, 28 fingers or 7 palms, is incomprehensible. It is disguised so that the people do not understand the origin of this cubit. It doesn't matter who disguised the cubit, but when you put it on a meter, it displays 52 centimeters, 30 millimeters, and 6/10 of a millimeter. It becomes a universal constant. It takes on all its meaning. They invented another measure, half the meter minus 5 millimeters, called the Babylonian royal cubit. They used these two standards, and the meter was deliberately hidden. It is for this reason that we find the meter everywhere in the Great Pyramid, since the royal cubit is graduated on the meter. Any other unit, the yard, the inch, the mile, the nautical mile, the pica, the foot, are all arbitrary or graduated on the meter. There is nothing universal or unchanging in nature that measures 1 inch, 1 yard, or a mile. The whole number 8 is divided by pi. The result, 2.54, will be graduated to the meter. The imperial system unit is born.
As you can see, the highest status that we enjoyed in written history was when we called ourselves Black. Every name that we've called ourselves since then has been a downgrade.
We are now in 2560 BC. First, it is necessary to select the construction site. They examine the Giza Plateau. Then, they measure the quantity of clay limestone. Depending on the volume of the limestone, they determine the size of the pyramid. Here in Giza, there is white and dark clay limestone. The plan is to make a pyramid with dark limestone for the interior and white limestone for the exterior. Above the present hill, there was soft clay limestone about 11 meters thick, which made a hill 30 meters high at the time. Here is how high the soft limestone wall was at the time. 11 meters of clay limestone represents approximately 7 to 8 million cubic meters, which is more than enough to build 3 pyramids with mastabas all around. The volume of the Great Pyramid is only 2.6 million cubic meters. That's what this represented seen from the side. It is almost imperceptible seen from far away. At the location of the tunnels and the underground chamber, there was a cavity about 30 meters. The place is chosen. It will be the Giza Plateau. Before starting the pyramid, the Egyptians established a model. Here are examples of models. A miniature limestone model of the apartments of the Hawara Pyramid. The construction of this monument absolutely required a careful preliminary plan. The architecture of the pyramid was determined based on a very precise and detailed plan. Everything that was thought of from the start was carried out and scrupulously respected. To build a pyramid, you must choose the shape of the triangle. The question is, what triangle? This is a triangle. This one too. There is a choice from 230,000 triangles and 110 million possibilities to make a pyramid. But the Egyptians chose only one, the only one, the perfect one. According to their sacred principles, they laid a base that measures 440 cubits. Then they divided the base by pi, or 140 cubits. That, multiplied by 2, equals 280 cubits. The result is the height of the pyramid. And the apothem divided by half the base equals 1.618. The Egyptians absolutely wanted to integrate the constants pi and the golden ratio. The pyramid became sacred since it was built with the cubit 52.36, the royal constant, and the meter. 4 universal constants were linked together in this building. There was no such thing as chance. 50 centimeters more or less, and pi disappeared from the pyramid. The Egyptologists would have been relieved. Phew, there is no pi. But no, the Egyptians did not make any mistakes. They built a pyramid 280 cubits high and 440 cubits wide. The pyramid is exceptionally precise, to within 1 centimeter, which shows the pi value very precisely. The Great Pyramid is the largest man-made expression of pi and the golden ratio visible on Earth. Khufu's son Khafre chose another concept for his pyramid, that of the sacred triangle, 3, 4, 5, in symmetry, the Pythagorean triangle. By the way, it would seem that Pythagoras never existed.
Whatever's politically correct, I'm a learning nigga. My day ones was all trained to point lead like a sharpener. My father was a mason, his father was a carpenter. My iridology reveals a dichotomy, gangster or prophet. My psyche is psychology on top of beatboxes. A mill off detoxes, vegan, the shoes gated, the coat, 3 foxes. It's all contradictory, you can't do shit to me. I died already, every breath is a gift to me.
Yup. So
It is the largest man-made expression of pi and the golden ratio visible on Earth. Khufu's son Khafre chose another concept for his pyramid, that of the sacred triangle, 3, 4, 5, in symmetry, the Pythagorean triangle. By the way, it would seem that Pythagoras never existed.
Whatever's politically correct.
5, in symmetry, the Pythagorean triangle. By the way, it would seem that Pythagoras never existed.
Whatever's politically
For his pyramid, that of the sacred triangle, 3, 4, 5, in symmetry, the Pythagorean triangle. By the way, it would seem that Pythagoras never existed.
So there's that, right? There's that thing to deal with. I missed that last part. That's my favorite part. I missed that last part. I was trying to find some. I was getting Chloe to help me find some books. And the books that I was looking for was under a whole pile of books. So we was in there trying to lift books and move books. Not my books. All my books is either here or on my bed. Other books. I'm looking at this right here. This is not my Bible. Right? This is not my Bible. I mean, I own this. It is a Bible, but this is not, this is my Bible. Right? This is just in the stash because this has the Apocrypha and the Book of Enoch and the Assumption of Moses, and so this just has other stuff in here just in case I have to run in the phone booth real quick. You know what I'm saying? And dig into some other stuff. You gotta have this on tap. You gotta have some stuff, you gotta have some stuff around. So, okay. So, ancient Egypt, that's a theme, right? That is a theme. Okay, now, like I said, let me get that video. You got it. It's gonna be in the middle of this video. This is one of my French books. This is one of my French books. Hold on. Because I want to try to see what it actually looks like. I take great pride in having this. Okay. So yeah, so this is B. This is B. And this is the reworked B for clarity.
A has a reworked version. Now, this is one of the things that made me want to go study the French, is because they released this in France. They released this in France. I'm not sure if they released one in English or in America yet, but I didn't wait. I was like, what is that? Give me that microphone. One wrecks, the other destroys. I was like, I'm going to need to have that. I'm going to need to have that. Whoop. This is the earliest. Well, obviously, this is not the original, but this technically, this is the first Masonic document on Earth. The oldest used to be, right? Well, it's not viewed that way, but technically it is. Right? This is building the pyramid. I was like, oh, I need to have that for those vanish, because those will vanish at some point. And then, yeah, then you have to go to a museum and get online and look at one through a glass. I was like, I'm going to need to actually have one of them joints there. All right. So here's the thing now. All right. So we kind of warmed it up. We warmed it up a little bit. We warmed it up a little bit, but we still ain't fully, right? So we still got a little bit more. We still got some more work that we need to go back into. Okay. All right. Alexander the Great. Now we can go back. Actually, let's tap into this Alexander the Great story. Hold on, champ. You went into Persia, you did your thing. Hold on. Okay. Let's get right in here. Let's get right in here. What's happening right in here? With his death marking the start of the Hellenistic period, Alexander's legacy includes cultural diffusion and syncretism that his conquest engendered, such as Greco-Buddhism and Hellenistic Judaism. He founded more than 20 cities, with the most prominent being the city of Alexandria in Egypt. Okay. Let's take a look at this. Hellenistic Judaism was a form of Judaism in classical antiquity that combined Jewish religious tradition with elements of Hellenistic culture and religion. Until the early Muslim conquest of the Eastern Mediterranean, the main centers of Hellenistic Judaism were Alexandria in Egypt and Antioch in Turkey, the two main Greek urban settlements of the Middle East and North Africa, both founded in the end of the 4th century BCE, in the wake of the conquest of Alexander the Great. Hellenistic Judaism also existed in Jerusalem during the Second Temple period, where there was a conflict between Hellenizers and traditionalists. The major literary product of the contact between the Second Temple Judaism and Hellenistic culture is the Septuagint, translation of the Hebrew Bible and Biblical Hebrew and Biblical Aramaic into Koine Greek, specifically Jewish Koine Greek. Mentionable are also the philosophical and ethical. Okay, now. So y'all might be, because we an hour and 40 minutes in. Y'all probably done went to sleep, woke back up. I know y'all getting drowsy, like EnQi just come on with it. EnQi is not gonna come on with it. Listen, EnQi is not gonna come on with it. We've been waiting thousands of years for this. So there's no reason to rush this thing now, right? There's a lot of information in between this page right here in between that page right there and this page over here. There is a lot of information. Listen, there is a lot of information. Now let's take a look at this thing. Oh, nigga! Let's take a look at this thing. Okay, now we see the Hebrew, the Syriac, the Greek, and the Arabic. Okay, now we done already looked at I like flow energy. Wait a minute. What's up with flow energy? Flow energy done changed the icon again. Flow energy is like getting ready to be my spirit animal. Flow energy getting ready to be like my spirit animal. Flow energy coming in here to motivate the motivator. Hey, listen. Listen. It's a lot of information right in between these few pages. We look at these here, we go, okay, so hold on. The Greek, the Syriac, wait a minute. Now something got left out. Something got left out of this whole story. And that only pops up when we bring this guy back into the story. We got to bring this guy back into the story. That's probably why Wiki is putting that, flashing that sign like, yo, you doing a lot of work off of Wiki, champ. You owe us a couple dollars. Listen, Wiki, like, listen, we watching your YouTube page too, damn it. And we believe that you owe us a few dollars. Ooh, Wiki, I don't got it right now, Wiki. But I do owe y'all a few dollars, Wiki. I owe y'all a few dollars. When I get my life together, I'm going to get y'all together. Okay, now, hold on. Okay, now. Here's the stone, right? Here's the stone. Okay, so here's the hieroglyphs, right? The metal netcher. Let's make sure we clear with this. This is the metal netcher up here, right? This is the metal netcher. This is the script, right? And then this is the Greek down at the bottom. So this is the Metal Netra, the script, and the Greek at the bottom. Okay. Now, hold on. Let's go over here. Hellenistic Judaism is a form of Judaism in classical antiquity that combined Jewish religious tradition with elements of Hellenistic culture and religion. Okay. It was in Alexandria of Egypt and Antioch of Turkey. Okay, hold on. Let's just go on over to Turkey for a second. What's going on over here in Turkey? What language they was speaking over here in Turkey? What they doing over here? What they speaking? What language they was speaking in Turkey? What they had going on over here? What language was they speaking in Turkey? Huh? What was they doing? What they say right here? Let's just check this out. What they was doing over there in Turkey? The Phrygians. Let's see let's see what kind of language they was friggin'. What kind of friggin' language they was talking? What kind of friggin' language was they talking over there? The Phrygians spoke Indo-European language, which was closer to Greek than Anatolian languages. Okay, so we're going to stop all this crazy stuff. Before 1200 BC, there were 4 Greek-speaking settlements in Anatolia. Around 1000 BC, Greeks start migrating west of Anatolia. Okay, so this is Greek over here, right? Archaic Greek civilization, this Greek over here. Let's not get lost over here. Okay, so I just wanted to clear that up before anybody got confused by the fact that they got Alexandria and they got Turkey. Okay, Alexandria and Turkey. Okay, now, why is it important for us to put a few things together? Okay. This is one of them days where we need both of these boards. This is one of them days we're gonna need both of these boards. I don't know what's on the other side of this, but it gotta go. Yeah, we're gonna need both of these boards. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna need both of these boards, right? We're gonna have to go back to that other board. We need to write some things down. We gotta write some things down. All right. Now, hold up. Hold up. Wait a minute. Okay. Wait, is this the right marker or is this the wrong marker? Oh man, I don't know which one is which. Okay, this is the right marker. Okay, so let's write down some stuff. So now, Hellenistic Judaism. Boy, oh boy. Hellenistic Judaism was founded in Alexandria. It was exported over to Turkey, right? But it's founded in Alexandria, right? Where at in Alexandria? Mouseion. What is Mouseion? Mouseion is a learning institution. They're like, we see you misspell that EnQi and then flagged it off. That's what you be doing with all them typos in your book. Sometimes. Okay, look. Hellenistic Judaism founded here, right? Okay. Who are the teachers in this school? Who are the teachers in this school? Let's go back over there. We need to figure out who are the teachers in this school. All right? Who is teaching in this school? Who is teaching over here? Come on now. Let's spread this joint out. Let's see what we got here. According to Johannes Zidis, Mouseion Institution was founded by Ptolemy I in ancient Egypt. Scroll on down. What does it say? As a community gathered together under the protection of the Muses. So this is a running theme here. The Muses, right? Mouseion of Alexandria arguably included the Library of Alexandria, right? Not arguably. This is where the library was at. The Mouseion was like the college campus, and this was like the big library there, okay? Founded by Ptolemy, boom, boom, boom. Any place dedicated to the Muses. Okay. In ancient Greek, see, they done went there now. They done went there. The Muses are the inspirational goddesses of literature, science, and the arts. Okay, they done went to the inspirational goddesses. But let's dig in. The earliest known records of the Muses comes from Boeotia. Some ancient authorities regarded Muses as a Thracian origin. In Thrace, a tradition of 3 original Muses persisted. In the 1st century BC, Diodorus Siculus cited Homer and Hesiod to the contrary observing. Writers similarly disagree also concerning the number of Muses. For some say that there are 3, others say that there are 9. But the number 9 has prevailed since it rests upon the authority of the most distinguished men such as Homer and Hesiod and others like them. Diodorus states that Osiris first okay now. We just do wop 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 wop. So
we clear, or we need to look at the Rosetta Stone again? Do we need to look at the Rosetta Stone again? Let's look at the Rosetta Stone again. Okay, so Rosetta Stone. I'm just saying. So the Muses over here, right? The Muses goes back to Osiris. The Muses goes back to Osiris. The Rosetta Stone goes back to the Metal Neter. The Muses goes back to Osiris. Okay. I'm just saying. It is uncertain how many scholars lived in the Mouseion at any given time, as surviving reports are few and rather brief. Nonetheless, it appears that scholars and staff members were salaried by the state and paid no taxes, according to Strabo. They received free room and board and free servants. Okay. Okay. So, what were they learning there? The Greek history, blah, blah, blah. Okay, and it's spread out throughout the world. And okay, we got all that. Right? It burned down, the siege of Alexandria. Okay, we got. The whole college campus was dedicated to the Muses. The Muses is supposed to be 9 goddesses that was recruited by Osiris. So, what was they teaching over here? What was they teaching here? They was teaching the same thing the Rosetta Stone was teaching. The Rosetta Stone was teaching the Mouseion. Mouseion was teaching Osiris. Egypt. Thinker said, man, I gotta go. Thinker said, man, I gotta go. Okay, hold on. Don't go just yet. Right? Don't go just yet. Because we gotta ask a question. Hold on. Don't go nowhere just yet. All right, so hold on. So Judaism, so Hellenistic Judaism is started by Alexandria. Okay. So it started by the Greeks, right? Okay, hold on. Before this, there's no written records of Judaism. Okay. Hold on. We going somewhere. We going somewhere. Is it okay? Let me ask y'all a question. Do I have y'all permission to just deal with only facts? Facts that we could substantiate? Do I have permission to do that? I just want to know if I have permission to deal with only facts. Right? And only facts is verifiable. We just only verifiable facts. Do I have permission for that? Okay. All right. So just verifiable facts. Okay. So Judaism I'm going to put this in the middle. So Judaism, we're going to put right here. Right? Now, as subsets, without being disrespectful, we're going to put Christianity and Islam, right? Because there is no Islam without Christianity. There's no Islam without Christianity and Judaism, right? So if they don't want to consider themselves an offshoot of Christianity, we will consider them an offshoot of Judaism. Judaism tells the story of Abraham. Okay? Judaism tells the story of Abraham, right? And this is a story of Abraham, right? So it's like a spinoff. We seen Power. 50 Cent made Power. Boop, 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 boop. Then after Ghost got killed by Tariq, Tariq went off and had his own show, and Tommy went off and had his own show. So this is a spinoff. This is a spinoff. Respectfully, this is a spinoff of the original Power series, right? So the Power series is a Greek reality TV show. That's how we're going to do this. It's a Greek reality TV show. Boom. We get ready to take over the whole world, right? I'm Greek. Yeah, I'm Greek. I'm starred in this Greek TV show, right? So I'm a star in the Greek TV show. Now, it's not a reality TV show. There's not enough action and guns and drugs and bombs and sex and everything going on. This is a real TV show, right? So this is the Greek TV show. I'm about to take over the world, right? Now, I learned the master secrets. How do I learn the master secrets? Because I kidnapped, just like the movie, just like Power, right? How does the people that's not in power come into power in power? Get down or lay down. They either strategically trick you into some sort of debt or some sort of violent something or threat of violence, or they actually come in and start killing and tying folks up, right? So this is the story right here, right? Okay. Now, we have no record of Judaism before the Greek, this place. Well, let's just do it right here so everything can be, we can see everything. Okay.
So we have no record of Judaism before the Greek takeover of Egypt. Y'all following that so far? Just tell me if y'all following that so far. So far, let me know. Besides flow energy. Flow energy is so amazing. Gratitude, love. Greek flows, gratitude, love. No, somebody besides flow energy. Yo. All right, Rashad in the building. Rashad in the building. Because I could do a whole class just with flow energy gassing me up, just throwing gas on the fire. Like, keep flowing. It's so amazing. Just take your time and relax. That's that mother nurturing energy. That has to be a lady. Right? That has to be a lady. That's the nurturing. Just keep going. You good. Right? Okay. So there's no record of Judaism before the Greek takeover of Egypt. Now, does anybody see a problem with this right here? This is where the participation part comes in. I want y'all to participate. Does anybody see a problem with this? I want y'all to just drop it in the chat. Come on. Right? Because from here we get this. And then, you know what? I don't want the Muslim folks to be no more upset than they already will be. So we're not going to do that. We're going to go bam. Okay? So Judaism, and we got two spin-off series. We got the main episode of Power, right? We got Power, and then we got Tariq show, we got Tommy show, and what's the other show? Wasn't it the other show that didn't last too long, right? So we got all these shows. Somebody tell me what's the problem with what's right here. Right? Forget the Torah and the Septuagint for a second. Just forget the books for a second. Just tell me a problem with what's right here. Right? The Greeks took over Egypt. Right? The Greeks took over Egypt, and then Judaism pops up in Egypt. Right? Come on. There's a problem with this story. And I've been telling it so long. I told you after my little brother passed away, we got to start. Now we got to start. I got to get to my Jesus flipping over the money changers. Like I got to get in that space now. So there's a problem with this story. So the Greeks take over Egypt. And then in Egypt, like EnQi, we don't see the problem. We think that's right. We think that's correct. Okay. Here's the problem. Here's the problem. I'm going to tell you what the problem is. The problem is, guess what? There's no such a thing as Egypt. Listen, there is no such a thing as Egypt. This is the problem. This is not the problem. There is no such thing as Egypt. There is no such place as Egypt. This does not exist. Never has. Or at least not until the Greeks invented this. This is a Greek invention. So remember I said earlier, what if Pythagoras never existed? And that was going to be the precursor for our conversation. What if Egypt never existed? Listen, we know that there's a war going on in the Middle East, right? And about Israel and blah, 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 blah. But there is no such thing as ancient Israel. Ancient Israel is like 60 years old or something like that. It's like 70. Ancient Israel started in 1948, 1951 or something like that. There's no ancient Israel. There is no ancient Egypt. I know y'all heard me, but y'all didn't heard me. I know y'all heard me, but y'all didn't heard me. So let me strip this off here. Let's strip this down here. Let's get rid of this. Okay. Boop, boop. This is made up. This is made up. This is made up, and this is made up. Listen, you know I know. Wait, you know I know that they watching and they like, we getting ready to tear this up. Nope. No. Listen. I've been in that. I've been there. I've been there, tying the Hebrew back to the Aramaic, tying the Hebrew back to the Sumerians. Yeah, the Hebrew, the ancient Hebrews was the Sumerians. Listen, I've been there. And I've been around so long that the people that are now saying whatever they're now saying, they cannot say those things to me because I remember the original conversation. Like, hold up, you didn't say that 2 years ago, 5 years ago. What you're doing is grasping at straws. The Egyptian people are grasping at straws, and the Israel people are grasping at straws. Just look at this and see what's the common thing here. Let's look at it together. Let's look at this together and see what the common thing is here. Let's look at this and see what the common thing is here. Right? If you think back to the conversations we already had last week, I already told y'all all the answers. Y'all just probably was not ready for this part of the conversation. This is made up. Look, watch this. Let's add insult to injury. Look, there is no such thing as this. This never existed. This, watch this.
There's no such a thing as this. This is made up. Yo, this is made up. The Greeks made this up, and they made this up. There's no such thing as Egypt. There's no such thing as Nile Valley. See, listen, I'm going to tell you the problem. The problem is the Egyptologists that are part of a fraternity. I know what these fraternities got going on. I know what they got going on. I know where this comes from. Let me show y'all where this comes from. You want to see where this comes from? Watch. Let me show you where this comes from. Watch this. I'm going to show y'all something. Let me see if I find this book cover. I done already told it to you, but you might need to see it in order to. You see it, it might help you. If you see it, it might help you. Let me find it for you. Nice big picture. Let me find you a nice big picture of this. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Bang. Hold on. Why you ain't working like you supposed to? Put it in a blood cleat. There we go. Boop. Okay. Bang, bang, bang. In fact, let's just go ahead and get a selfie of my man. Let's just go ahead and get a selfie of my man up in the building. Okay, here we go. We got a nice little selfie of my man right there. We got a nice little selfie of my man. Let me show you, because I done already told you. I'm just, so now we saying it again. On a blood clot this. Where'd the picture go? No blood cleat. All right, so we just gonna have to go like this. Look at this. Will you look at this? Will you look at this? Will you look at this? You see that? You see that? Look, that's what you look. What you think that is right there? When you see the Greek fraternities and they be throwing this up in their program right there, what do you think that is? What do you think that is? That's that. I told you what they was teaching at Mouseion. Right? Mouseion was dedicated to the Muses, or the Moses, or the Muses, you know. And we looked up what that is, and that's Osiris and 9 ladies, 9 goddesses in Osiris. Listen, we've been listening for a long time to the Egyptologists telling us that the Israelites is fake and the Jews is fake, and there's no such thing as the Israelites and the Jews, and it's just Egypt and Nile Valley civilization and Nile Valley culture and Nile Valley and Egypt and Nile Valley. We got to stop this madness. Egypt is just as made up as Israel. You're like, hold up, how you saying that? And you representing Shu, and Egypt and Nile Valley listen, them Egyptologists, see, when they come in and they tell you, yeah, I got my degree from such and such, a liberal, this and that. Jabari is with them people. So is Reggie. Reggie ain't with them people. Reggie wishes he was with those people. So he do a lot of brown nosing. But Jabari is with them people. And Jabari plugged all the way in. Pun intended. Reggie wish he was plugged in with them. There's no such a thing as Nile Valley. There's no such a thing as Nile River until the Greeks. The Greeks invent the Nile River. They invent Egypt. They invented that. Look. Let's go back on over here where we was at. Okay, let's go back over here where we was at. Hey, who is this? In 3, 2, 1. Who is this? Look, who is that? So what is Nile Valley civilization? What is that? What is Nile Valley civilization? Greek mythology. Nile Valley civilization is Greek mythology. Listen. Listen, they're going to want to debunk this all they want. There's nothing they can do with this. So folks that got Nile Valley civilization tattoos and all that, they're going to have to change that. They got to change that. They got to figure that out. Because there's no such a thing as Nile Valley. That's not a real thing. That's Greek mythology. Listen, I'm getting ready to tie up, right? I'm getting ready to tie up upper and lower. I'm getting ready to reunite the upper and lower. Nile Valley civilization is Greek mythology. We've been had this drilled into our mind so long that I just got to stay here and just keep banging this point in for a while. Like, we got to get this in. We got to get this in. So wait a minute, Doc, what is you saying, Doc? The Greeks took over. The Greeks took over. Alexander the Great made his own place. That's why it's called Alexandria. Hello? Is this thing on? Let me see something. Wakey. Y'all, yeah, y'all out there? Y'all see me out there in the back? Y'all see me? Listen, Alexander came in and made up his own program. Okay, listen.
Y'all don't realize we've been having this same conversation for a while. So let's go back a couple of weeks ago. Remember a couple of weeks ago? And we was going through the books, and we was going through the info, and I was telling y'all, drilling it in. Time and space only exist in your mind. And we was having a conversation. I've been saying that forever. But we was having a conversation, and I was saying, listen, let's have an experiment. Remember I was saying, let's do an experiment? Whatever city you in, whatever state you in, if you go back 500 years, would it still be the same name? Right? I'm in Michigan right now. If we go back 500 years, this is not Michigan. If we go back 500 years, this is not Michigan where I'm standing. It's Michigan today. Why is it Michigan today? It's Michigan today because the conquerors said so. They made it up. Whoop. And if you did not go along with that, off with your head. Whoop. If your head, right, if you do not let us penetrate your head, we will take your head off. That's how it goes. You let us penetrate your brain, or we take your brain. We'll take that. Take that. Take that. That's Greek too. That's Greek too. Take that. Take that. So did you see roots? Did you see roots? Did you see roots? Kunta Kinte. What's your name? Kunta. Ah! What's your name? Kunta. Ah! What's your name? Toby. Toby. What's your name? Ah! Now Valley. Yeah. Hey, listen. This is Greek mythology. This is Greek mythology. Greek mythology. There's no Egypt. There's no Nile Valley. There's no Egypt. There's no Nile Valley. There's no Israel. There's no ancient Israel. There's no ancient Egypt. There's no ancient Israel. There's no ancient Egypt. So we have to get to the next question, right? We got to go to the next question. There's no ancient Israel. There's no ancient Egypt. There's just Greece. Now that's for sure. There's Greece. Is that for sure? Wait, is it really such a thing as Greece, or is it just Macedonians? Wait a minute. EnQi, how far down the rabbit hole are we going? This is Mandela effect. Maybe I should name this video the Mandela effect. Yo, we might have to name this video the Mandela effect. Listen. Listen, your man is with them people. I told y'all he with them people. Jabari with them people. Listen, everybody that's this is the reason why Reggie had to take a public whooping from me. Listen, Reggie had to take a public whooping from me. Reggie had to take a humiliation ritual. He had to get a public flogging because Reggie can't say nothing. Reggie can't say nothing. Reggie knows this. Reggie knows this. Jabari knows this. They know this. Shaka Akmos knows this. Shaka knows this. Why he promotes the Nile Valley still, I don't know. But he knows this. They know this. I know for a fact Reggie knows this, though, because he almost slipped up. He tried it, and I pressed him on it, and he just backed down. We played a game of chicken, a silent game of chicken. There's like a 10-minute window where me and him play a silent game of chicken. Like, who gonna say it first? You gonna say it or I'm gonna say it? He ain't say it, so I ain't say it. He ain't say it, so I ain't say it. But I know he knew. He was like, Egypt, what you gonna do, Reggie? You gotta say everything if you say anything. You gotta say everything if you say anything. Me, I'm gonna say everything. He opted to say nothing, but he knows better. He knows that this is fake and this is fake. This is Greek mythology. This is not even Greek mythology. This is their thing they made up, but this is Greek mythology. Nile Valley is named after Nilus, a Greek god of the water. He's a Greek mythology river god. That's this. They just made that up. They just made that up. They just threw that right on there. You threw that right on there. Listen, I got to represent for my guy. I got to make this right for my guy. Shu is demanding that we make this right. He's whispering to me, yo, EnQi, straighten this out. Go and straighten this out. You can do it. Like, you sure I can do it? It's a lot of opposition. You got this. All of the guys that been teaching you this, look, they've been teaching you about Asar and Heru. It's no ancient religion of Asar and Heru. That's not what they was teaching. There's no ancient cults of Osiris, Asar, Heru. That's not it. You got to make it right. We got to put some respect on my man's name. This is the God. Shh. The secret. The secret? Shh. This is the secret. You're gonna learn today. Matter of fact, y'all might need a minute to let this marinate. We're gonna just let this marinate. We're gonna just let this marinate. Let this settle down. Let this settle in. You know what I'm saying? Give y'all a chance to share it to the haters, the trolls. I know we got a few in there. They like, hold up. EnQi done went crazy and said Nile Valley. Now we know that the Greeks made up the word Egypt, but hold up. He said they made up Nile Valley. And then he went on to say that there's no Osiris, Asar religion. That's a fact.